So what's the best way to make a Jehovah's Witness? Well, start when they're young. Start when they're kids. That's what parents are supposed to do. And the Jehovah's Witness organization, JWorg, provides information, videos for you to brainwash your children. Let's check them out.
Don't sue me, bro.
Hello and welcome to Next Witness Week. I'm your host, Jonathan. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to be viewing some videos provided by JWorg that they recently added in 2024. The series Learn from Jehovah's Friend. Now, they don't have too many as yet, but they have a couple here and there. So let's have a look-see, and then we'll do a comparison of the scriptures that it says for the kids to look up, and let's see how accurate they are when it comes to Bible truths. Okay, so we have, first off here, learn from, actually, I did cover this in a previous video before, at the start of the year, but we've got 4 that we can look at, and let's just check it out and see what there is here that we can glean from that. Okay. This one says to learn from Jehovah's Friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So let's have a look-see and see what it has to say.
Hey there, ready for the final product?
No.
Ta-da! It's the 3 Hebrews in the fiery furnace.
Sorry, but that's crayon, not paint. Anyway.
It could use some work. That sure is an exciting account. But how did they end up in a scorching oven? Come on, I'll show you. It's a great story. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah were just boys when they were taken to Babylon. Daniel was there too. People there were not Jehovah's Friends. They wanted the Hebrews to be just like them. They gave them Babylonian
I guess they're trying to get
names.
away from the computer animation
Meshach,
look and go with a
Abednego,
more of a traditional
and food that Jehovah
cartoon,
said they shouldn't
but,
eat. But together with
no,
Daniel,
it's not bad.
they obeyed Jehovah because they were his friends.
a little generic.
Then one day, the king of Babylon told everyone to bow down and worship a statue. And anyone who didn't would be thrown into a fiery furnace. Would the 3 Hebrews give in to the pressure of the king and everyone else around them? Of course not. They knew that only Jehovah deserved their worship. If they obeyed him before, they knew they could do it again. They declared, "Our God whom we serve is able to rescue us, O king. But even if he does not, we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold." Jehovah's friends always obey him. But how did Jehovah rescue them? Wow, what a cliffhanger. Why not read the whole story and find out for yourself? Make time every day to learn from Jehovah's Friends. What do you think? How did Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah show that they were Jehovah's Friends? When is it hard for you to obey Jehovah? And what can you do to obey Jehovah like they did?
Okay, so, yeah. At least they're not very long. It looks like the average is about 2.5 minutes. I can handle that, but let's see what the account says. So we have Daniel 1:3-7. Then the king ordered Ashpenaz as chief court official to bring some of the Israelites, including those of royal and noble descent. They were to be youths without any defect, of good appearance, endowed with wisdom, knowledge, and discernment, and capable of serving in the king's palace. He was to teach them the writing and language of the Chaldeans. Furthermore, the king assigned to them a daily ration from the king's delicacies and from the wine he drank. They were to be trained for 3 years, and at the end of that time were to enter into the king's service. Now among them were some from the tribe of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, and the principal court officials assigned names to them. He gave to Daniel the name Belteshazzar, to Hananiah the name Shadrach, to Mishael the name Meshach, and to Azariah the name Abednego. Okay, so we're all pretty familiar with this account. We know that they tried to feed them certain things that they weren't allowed to take as Jews. So they asked for vegetables, and they were just, they were strong. They were told to bow down to this image. They just refused to do so, and they were to be thrown into a fiery furnace. And I noticed that in the video for the kids, it doesn't show the guards being roasted alive in the furnace. I guess that was a bit too much. But, if you're going to show the kids these Bible characters, you should probably show everything, right? These Bible accounts are supposed to be educational, but they can be filled with things that maybe you don't want to expose your children to, such as violence, death, destruction, which seems to be a common theme in the Bible. So as a parent, you may want to choose wisely what you're going to expose your children to. But let's go and check out the next video and see what it has to say. Okay, this one is Learn from Jehovah's Friends, Jeremiah. So let's have a look-see here. It kind of has a Dora the Explorer feel to me, but I don't know, whatever.
But in my heart, it became like a burning fire. Wow! Jeremiah spoke with boldness. Have you ever wanted to tell someone about Jehovah, but were afraid? Lots have felt that way. Even the prophet Jeremiah. In Jeremiah's day, God's people were doing bad things. Jehovah sent Jeremiah to tell them to stop. But Jeremiah said, I am just a boy. Because inside, he felt he couldn't do it. So Jehovah promised him,
what's with the buck
do
teeth?
not be afraid because of their appearance, for I am with you to save you. For many years, Jeremiah relied totally on Jehovah and spoke with boldness. But it wasn't always easy. This is Pasher, a priest who wanted Jeremiah to stay quiet. He had him locked up for a whole night to scare him, and it almost worked. Jeremiah wanted to quit being Jehovah's prophet, but he loved Jehovah, like a fire in his heart that he couldn't keep in.
Heartburn.
And he loved people.
See your doctor if you've acid reflux.
Listened, it made Jeremiah happy. Jehovah's friends rely on him and speak with boldness, just like Jeremiah did. Why not read more of his story and learn about other challenges he faced? Make time every day to learn from Jehovah's friends. What do you think? How did Jeremiah become Jehovah's friend? Whom do you want to talk to about Jehovah? What can you say to help them become Jehovah's friend?
Okay, let's check and see what the scripture has to say and how it relates to these questions that the kids are supposed to ask themselves. So Jeremiah 1:6-8. That's the tunes get stuck in your head. It's an effective tool. Let's see, Jeremiah. What did we say? 1:6-8. Okay, so let's see what it says. Jeremiah 1:6-8. But I said, Alas, O sovereign Lord Jehovah, I do not know how to speak, for I am just a boy. Jehovah then said to me, Do not say I am just a boy, for you must go to all those to whom I send you, and you should say everything that I command you. Do not be afraid because of their appearance, for I am with you to save you, declares Jehovah. Okay, so the question to ask is, how did Jeremiah become Jehovah's friend? Whom do you want to talk about Jehovah? So this is trying to make this personal for the kids. And of course, they're going to want to talk to their friends at school, their schoolmates. And it says, what can you say to help them become Jehovah's friends? So how can you indoctrinate them? The kids are supposed to have their own territory, which is, of course, the school, because parents are not allowed to go in there. They'd probably get arrested if they did. But the kids can talk to other kids. Kids can also talk to teachers as well. Now, the information that we read in Jeremiah 1:6-8 doesn't talk about anything that was pictured in the video. So unless the kid goes and finds the rest of the accounts about Jeremiah, they're just going to take it on faith that that's the way it was, whether it's accurate or not. And that's part of the process of indoctrinating people, is give them some information and don't give them all the answers. Don't provide everything that they could possibly need to know about a subject in order to form an opinion. Pick and choose, cherry pick information from different accounts so that you can transform the narrative in a way that suits what you're trying to teach. I mean, it sounds like something that anybody would do if they're trying to get their point across, that they're going to, pick this and pick that. But the things that they pick are designed to make you follow them. And in following them, you give up a lot of things in your life, and you take a risk that may come back to bite you in the butt when it comes to being baptized. You don't get the luxury of just changing your mind. So starting them young so that in the future they're going to be affected by these things and they don't even realize it. Okay, let's head back. Okay, this is another one. This one, God makes it grow. Well, I'll show it to you. It's not very long. This is a weird mashup between Sophia and her mother, and then this sort of like, I don't know, flash animation, whatever it is. It's a little off. Let's take a look.
Sophia! Zoe and Camille should be here soon. Are you ready? Oh, is everything okay?
No. I really want Zoe's mom to study the Bible. But what if I mess up? Or what if she asks questions I can't even answer?
Is it just weird
What am
that
I
they
gonna
changed the
do?
voice? I guess Sophia grew up and
Sometimes I get nervous too.
they had to switch voices, maybe? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
But we don't have to worry.
Why not?
Well, think of the flowers we planted outside the house. We
This
planted
is that
all
weird
the
animation I'm
bulbs,
talking about.
Yeah?
and then you watered them. Just like flowers that have been planted, when we tell others about Jehovah, it's like planting a little seed of truth. And when you continue to teach them, it's like watering that seed. But what makes the flowers grow? Did you make it grow?
That is not how that works.
No, that's silly. They need sunlight.
And who gives us sunlight?
Jehovah. Oh, he makes it grow.
Yes. Jehovah is the one who makes a love for the truth grow in a person's heart. And he can do that for Zoe's mom.
Wow.
They're here. You know, I think we'll make a great team.
Thanks, Mom. I know we will, because we're working with Jehovah.
As we're working with Jehovah.
Hey, Camille. Hey. Come on in.
Okay. I don't have a ton to say about this particular one, other than it was just interesting to see them attempt a different style of animation. I think that it highlights the inadequacies that the Watchtower Society puts on the people, that everything has to come from Jehovah. It's his doing. If you say something, it's not you, it's God that did it. So it takes away from your accomplishments and says that, well, you know, you're just a worthless thing, and only because Jehovah is there to prop you up that you're able to do a thing. There's nothing wrong with looking to a higher power if that's something that works for you in your life. But you got to remember that they want you to do all this study, and they want you to constantly take in this information and to go over it, regurgitate it, meditate on it, and then practice and then talk to people and convert people. But all that has nothing to do with the hours and hours of time that you put into it. It's Jehovah that did it. I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say. On that one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is the one that made me decide to do this video right now. It's talking about learn from Jehovah's Friends, Abel. So let's see what we can learn from Abel and his example.
He still speaks through his faith. Whoa. Have you read about Abel? Even after 6,000 years,
Why, yes, I have.
he still speaks to us through his faithful example. That's incredible, especially considering his living situation. A lot of family drama. Come on, let's take a look at that account. Abel's parents were Adam and Eve. They disobeyed Jehovah.
Adam's like, I don't know. And then, of course, there's that Satan snake, which was inserted into the story because Satan didn't actually exist in this part of history. It was inserted later. It's a whole thing. But anyway, let's continue.
And had to leave the paradise that God made for them. Abel also had a brother named Cain. He was angry and violent.
What is with what is with these Pokemon looking things? Like, I'm not really familiar with the characters in the Pokemon series, but is there like a garlic version? You know, a garlic Pokemon? I don't know. Whatever.
Abel's family were bad examples of faith. So how did Abel build his faith? Well, there were cherubs who guarded the way to the garden where his parents used to live. Abel could see other creatures who had faith in Jehovah.
This is something that doesn't appear in the Bible. But if you're a little kid, you're going to think it does. I hate this propaganda and how it's designed to infect little children.
So he wasn't alone. Abel could enjoy the beautiful things Jehovah made and know God loved him. And Abel could think about Jehovah's promise and hope that someday he'd live in paradise.
Really?
Even though Abel had a family who did not love Jehovah, he still saw and heard plenty to help him build faith in God. That helped Abel become...
Okay, you got a family that doesn't believe in serving Jehovah, but you do. So they're just inserting a little bit of your family is not as important as serving God. I mean, depending on what your religion dictates, that can be true. But the way that the Jehovah's Witnesses handle it, with the shunning and with the isolation and dividing of families, this just doesn't feel right.
Come, Jehovah's friend. Why not read Abel's story and let his account speak to you? Make time every day to learn from Jehovah's friends. What do you think? How did Abel show that he was Jehovah's friend? How did Abel build his faith in Jehovah? How could you build your faith?
Okay, let's check out the scripture and see what it has to say, and let's see how accurate this is. I didn't actually look. All right, so we got Genesis 4:2-5. Okay. Later, she again gave birth to his brother Abel. It was first talking about Cain. Abel became a shepherd of the flock, but Cain became a cultivator of the ground. After some time, Cain brought some fruits of the land as an offering to Jehovah, but Abel brought some firstlings of his flock, including their fat. While Jehovah looked with favor on Abel and his offering, he did not look with any favor on Cain and his offering. So Cain grew hot with anger and was dejected. Oh, okay, I went a little further than I was supposed to. So that's what we know so far. It says Hebrews 11:4. Now, this is part of that scripture that the little character was quoting at the beginning of the video. Hebrews 11, verse 4. By faith, Abel offered God a sacrifice of greater worth than that of Cain, and through his faith he received the witness that he was righteous, for God approved his gifts, and although he died, he still speaks through his faith. Okay, so that's what we know about Abel. So let's go back to this video here. What do we see? We got Pokemon Cain over here. We got these cherubs that are guarding the Garden of Eden. There's no indication that he would have seen this. This is just something they're inserting into the story because, ooh, look neat. Yeah, no. Okay, here he's talking about his chance for paradise. Let's actually just look at that again.
Abel could enjoy the beautiful things Jehovah made and know God loved him. And Abel could think about Jehovah's promise and hope that someday he'd live in paradise. Even though Abel had a family who did not love Jehovah, he still saw and heard plenty to help him build faith in God. That helped Abel become Jehovah's friend. Why not read Abel's story?
Okay, so speculation, fan fiction, that is what these kid stories are. They're taking their own narrative, their own spin on things, make it into this flashy, colorful cartoon so that you can take 3, 4, 5-year-olds and feed them this stuff, and it's going to make them think a certain way. They're probably not going to do all the research they can do on a particular Bible character. They're probably not going to go into the insight book and do all the exhaustive reading that there is about a certain person and how that person pertains to Jehovah's Witnesses today. Because, who does that when they're a little kid? So they're just going to take it on faith that this is the truth when it's not. And even if they did do that exhaustive research, they're not going to go out and read a Bible concordance in the world or an article that is done by someone other than JWorg. No, it's going to be things done by the organization, things that their parents have set in front of them to look at. So this is very dangerous when it comes to kids, when you distort things in a way that makes it look like you have the truth. Because any of us who were Jehovah's Witnesses, who grew up as Jehovah's Witnesses years ago, are familiar with the yellow Bible storybook, which I have here. And the stories in there, some of them are pretty terrible, but we didn't think, well, that's BS. Or that's just something that they're telling us. We just took it as that is the gospel, that is the truth, and that's the way things are. Most of us didn't have this want as kids to double check everything that was put in front of us. We just accepted it. I hope that kids that are subjected to these cartoons, these videos, can find a way to overcome the effect that they have on them and hopefully develop into individuals who will question things, who will go, does that make sense? Does the flood make sense to me? Let's just hope. I'll keep putting out these videos, and other apostates will do the same, and maybe somebody will come across it and it'll affect them in a positive way to get them to use their brain and reason from the scriptures themselves, not from the publications that the Jehovah's Witnesses provide. That is all I have to say on the subject today, and I thank you for watching. I hope that you have a great week. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're able to, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now. Toodles.